Welcome to Inside the Spin with DJ Dex and Jay Fin.
What's going
on? Man, it's been an awesome week of football, man. Especially at Lambeau Field. The Packers, they came to play. Man, they look really good. The offense was clicking. The defense was clicking really well, and the special team was clicking. So that means all three phases of football was played at Lambeau Field. What was your input on this Sunday's game?
I mean, starting the game out, you're looking at how the Packers O-line is going to hold up. No Corey Linsley. They kind of shifted the O-line. No Runyon starting either. So big thing is just keeping Aaron Rodgers clean. And at the start of the game, he took 2 early sacks, one on that first drive. And it was a little shaky, but I mean, from then on out, keep Aaron Rodgers clean the entire game. He looked good. And then my second thought pregame was how we're going to control Sanders and this Eagles running game. Everyone keeps talking about Carson Wentz and just if he's playing well, if he's not playing well, should they play Jalen Hurts, which obviously we saw yesterday they did. But I mean, even last week they played the Seahawks. They almost won that game. So like we talk about every single week, can never just think you're going to come in here and beat these teams. Defensively, we've been giving up a lot rushing-wise, giving up over 100 to the Bears, giving up over 100 to the Colts, giving up over 100 to the Jags. And yesterday our defense, like you said, they came to play. So it was a good game. Good game.
It was, and like you said, they kept 12 up off the ground. He was able to sit in the pocket, throw the ball like his old self, man. And what was crazy, he broke a hell of a record yesterday, and incredible. And what I find so amazing about it is when Adam scored his touchdown and he got on his knees and handed 12 the ball. I thought that was pretty sweet, man. And he deserved it, man. I know I've been pretty hard on 12 in the past, but at the end of the day, he's a hell of a quarterback. He's been playing very well this season, man, and he's been playing MVP football, and you can't beat that.
No, you can't. And I mean, it's crazy to me that they know in game, like Devontae knew right away as soon as he caught that, he went down to his knee, and it's just they have the wherewithal to know, hey, that's 400. So that means they're either going in at halftime or before the drive, and they're like, hey, I'm getting this one. This is going to be 400 here. And Devontae caught his 200th and his 400th. I don't know if you
wow.
Yeah, they like went back and they looked at the stats and found out that Devontae had actually caught Rodgers' 200th career touchdown as well, which is kind of wild, man.
That is pretty wild. And I was looking at James was talking yesterday. Yeah, yesterday when Devontae scored a touchdown and James scored his 100th touchdown in Atlanta, and James said, "Sorry, 12, I threw your 100th touchdown in the stands." and I thought that was pretty funny because Devontae
James Jones did that.
Yeah, James Jones had scored Aaron's 100th touchdown in Atlanta playoff game.
He threw it in the stands.
Playoff game, and he got all the way down and just
whipped it. Probably got fined for it too.
Yeah, he got fined, and James was like, "Man, I apologize, man. I owe you big time for that one." But I thought that was pretty sweet, man.
100, 200, 300, and now 400 sitting at home on the shelf, but that 100th is missing.
Hey, that 100's missing. And I got another thing, man. What you think about Devontae Adams playing the way he's been playing and getting open and making himself very available for Aaron?
It's crazy, and that we've talked about it week after week, where it's like you kind of think of just how he's getting open and how none of these DBs can figure out a way to cover this guy, and it's just because of how good his route running is. I mean, and the way he high points balls. I mean, you look at that first touchdown, how he goes up, secures that ball while that defender is right on him, and still just makes an incredible catch.
Absolutely,
for that first one, but. And the second touchdown for that 400, I mean, he gets it 7 yards out from the end zone and just bullies that dude into the end zone. it's just wild, man. I look at him week after week, and you can't look at him. I get it. I'm probably biased as a Packers. He's the best receiver in the NFL, man.
He is. He is.
All around.
He is. He's a good looking specimen. He's got hell of a routes. He's very detailed in his routes, and like you said, he high points the ball, and that's what has left the game is high pointing the ball. Guys have left that, and like they wanted to get into their chest or whatnot, but Devontae goes up, get the ball, and secure the ball all the way to the ground. So he's playing some hell of a ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go to the running game. It looked really, really good yesterday, especially the O-line blocking, getting man-to-man on their man zone blocking also with Aaron also running the ball. Jones, man, he looked like himself. He looked healthy. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he didn't have any huge plays until the end of the game, but all those runs he was getting were tough runs, picking up tough yards, and that's the thing with him. Either whether it's him or Jamal in the backfield, you know 100% you're getting tough running where they're finishing every single play, not getting tackled backward at all. I mean, he had a couple plays where should be down a yard or at the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden turns it into 5 yards.
Oh, yes.
And I remember even yesterday, one of the plays, Romo was like, wow, that's all Aaron Jones right there. I mean, that play should have been stopped in the backfield, and he wiggles through, ends up getting 5, 6, 7 yards. But yeah, it's good to see. I mean, with that play at the end of the game was icing on the cake. But they look good. The running game looked good, and that, like we said, that line held up all game long, which is going to be huge, especially down the line. Just keeping that O-line healthy, and then keeping Rodgers up, keeping that running game going. Where you look at yesterday, all those play action plays that Rodgers runs, where it's almost as soon as he goes play action, you're like, oh yeah, someone's open.
Someone's open.
Yeah, and he just gets it out so quick. It's just almost too easy for him.
No, you ain't kidding about that, man. And I like I said, I thought all phases, and I was really paying attention to the tight ends yesterday, and I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I was thinking, I was like, man, the hidden secret of that tight end room is Mercedes Lewis, because of the experience, the years in the NFL, and that hidden classroom atmosphere. I guarantee he brings the experience, and that savvy vet into the locker room, and I think that helps Tongan play the way he's playing right now, because he's playing at a very high level there at the tight end position. I got to give it to him now. Playing really, really well. He's getting open for Aaron, and what I want to see is it falls off into the postseason where we can get to the promised land, and that's the Super Bowl. The way these guys playing right now, they can do it, especially in the tight end room. I love the way them guys playing.
Yeah, you got to think that Mercedes is coaching him up a little bit, just giving him advice from being a vet, knowing everything that he knows. But yeah, I mean, Tanyan had that one touchdown where he crossed all the way across the field. The DBs got kind of mixed up. I think it was Lazard crossing with him, and they both went with Lazard and just kind of left Tanyan wide open in the back of the end zone. So yet again, man, another touchdown from him. And like you said, I mean, Mercedes had a couple catches too, but they're looking good all around, man. And like we said, they're getting healthy. One takeaway, I mean, we talk about MVS a lot. He had a big time drop yesterday on a deep ball. And he's the guy I worry about. I mean, I love him as a player. He's the one that can spread the field, really stretch the field out. And just keeps having a little bit of drop issues. Man, I hop on Twitter and he's just getting dogged for it right away. And it sucks because I feel for the guy, because I know he's a talented receiver. But he just gets these couple drops. And I just worry about confidence-wise, where I want to keep his confidence high, especially being a younger guy. I mean, yesterday he had no catches, 2 targets, 1 drop, and then the other one don't end up hooking up. So yeah, what do you think about that? Those younger guys and just staying right mentally, after their
I think it's like you said. I think it's very, very key for him to gain some confidence.
Mhm.
Obviously, you see he's struggling in that department, and it's going to be very key for 12 to continue to come back to him because as far as you go off into the season and into the playoffs, you're going to need a guy like that to stretch the field
Yeah.
for the shot plays also. And like I said, man, it's hard. It's easy said and done. Once again, Sundays is a great time to go out and let all the little stress out from the week and of preparing for the game. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you got a guy like that drops the ball week in and week out, which I've been through that, man. I've been through that struggle where you just couldn't figure out why I'm dropping the ball, what's going on, and it's hard to come back and reiterate the same thing. But hey, the guy, he has to figure it out. The guy to figure it out.
So when you were playing, what's your take? Monday you come back to practice, or Tuesday come back to practice. I mean, are you hitting jugs machines, or are you just kind of just taking it out of your head and you're just knowing, hey, I can do this? Or what are you thinking MVS is doing versus like what you were doing back when you were playing?
Of course, you gotta get to the and do the and get to the jugs and hit the jugs and tear it. I'm talking about probably 100 jugs. I tore the jugs up
Yeah.
beginning of practice, after practice, and just went home and just let all of it go. The thing is, just don't let it follow you to the next Sunday. You're a professional for a reason. And you gotta go week in and week out and perform. And hopefully 12 can keep the confidence in and keep throwing the ball to him also.
Yeah, because he's got to know that MVS is a good receiver, especially well fitting into this team with being able to stretch the field. And you'd like to think that Rodgers has a lot of trust in him. It happens. I mean, people are going to have drops, and
Yeah, it happens.
game. So, but yeah, moving on with the game yesterday. I mean, we go into halftime with the lead. Um, like you said, we played well all around, aside from that special teams punter
Yes.
that we give up. I think Scott's going to tackle him, but he's a punter, man. You can't blame it on him. Eagles made it interesting, man. I'm starting to kind of sweat at the end of the game, and then all of a sudden Jalen Hurts comes in, starts making some plays.
And I got some on that. And Jalen Hurts, we gotta look at that as a defense also, because as you see, we struggle with running quarterbacks
Mm-hmm.
and good throwing quarterbacks. So that's going to be one thing that we got to go in and adjust and tweak for the 11th hour of the season, because you're gonna get them multitasking quarterbacks where you don't know if them guys are gonna pump it, run, or just let it go. So our defense got to be ready for that. Alexander can't be so aggressive. He's going to have to stay home and play his part, because he gets a point in his game where he just want to jump at every single thing. And that's not going to be the case here coming up on the stretch of the season. So Jalen Hurts he done his job when he got the chance. So I'm excited to see where that kid can go to also.
Yeah, so that was going to be one of the things that we touch on. What do you think going forward, Eagles wise? I mean, you think the Eagles are going to stick with him and leave Wentz on the bench next week, or what do you think going forward there?
I think if the Eagles are smart, I know they're looking at their investment and what they paid the guy. But I think the NFL has to get away from the investment of guys and how much they pay guys, because you got a guy second round and Jalen Hurts who can play some ball and can win you games, but you're sitting them on the bench because you gave because you gave Wentz $100 million. I think you should cut it, but I think it's Jalen Hurts moving forward.
And I agree with you 100%. I said right away yesterday, I mean, after Hurts threw that touchdown on fourth down and where he just throws an absolutely perfect ball to the corner of the end zone, I'm like, well, this is easy to pick the Eagles next week. I mean, you're going to go with Wentz or with Hurts, especially just the way that their team is right now. I mean, you're 3-8 and have a 1 tie. What else do you have to lose at this point? I mean, I know the NFC East is pretty terrible, and who knows,
Right.
maybe they could still end up making the playoffs at 3-8-1 right now. But I mean, let's look at the Redskins are 4-7, and the leader of their division, the Giants, is 5-7. So they're only 2 games behind right now, which is shocking at 3-8-1.
Very, very shocking.
Yeah,
And that's a division. They can go either way there.
yeah. So
I mean,
why not put Jalen Hurts in? Give him a shot. I mean, the kid was a stud all college, all through.
yeah, he was.
Whether he's at Bama or Oklahoma, I mean, his resume speaks for himself, and people want to kind of talk about him that he's not a full quarterback or whatever,
Right.
but the kid can play. And with Wentz doing what he's doing right now, I know it's not all his fault. He had relentless pressure yesterday. He got sacked 4 times. Hurts in the quarter that he was in got sacked 3 times. So,
and that's the thing. You can't. I know Wentz wasn't getting the ball out, but now that you got a fresh quarterback in, now let's go tweak that offensive line up, because you got a young
mobile quarterback too.
Yeah, you got a mobile quarterback who can actually scramble and get out the pocket. So now you're going to have these the old linemen quick on their feet and just getting on their blocks for a second.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and you even saw it yesterday in the short amount of time that Hurts was in. He had a couple runs, probably like 30 yards in the quarter that he was in, where Wentz, you're watching him all game. He seems struggling, to be nervous and like happy feet back there, where he knows that his line isn't going to protect for him, and then it's just kind of in his head, and he starts to just move around when he doesn't have to.
Kind of like PTSD. He's got that flinch.
For sure, yeah. I mean, after getting hit week after week, he's been sacked, I think, more than anyone in the NFL. So he's probably just freaking out back there. But, yeah, I mean, it was a good game for our defense to show out. I think everybody got involved on the sacks. I mean, you had both the Smith brothers. I mean, Raven Green even got in there for a sack. He had everyone in there. So, and there were a lot of third down sacks, which were huge. I mean,
that's huge. And then the guys that we're going to need once again along the stretches. We need guys getting to that quarterback. Them guys, combined it for seven sacks yesterday. That's a huge day, man. And I'm excited to see where them boys go there on that the defensive front and our linebackers also.
Yeah,
they played a heck of a game yesterday.
Yeah. And then you go back to Darnell Savage getting his pick at the end.
Yep.
And it really was a complete game defensively, offensively, minus the 1 special teams. It was a very, very good game.
Absolutely. 12 was the fastest quarterback in history to get to 400. Guess what, man? I don't even know what number I caught from. I don't know if it was 100 or 75 or whatever number it was, but man, how sweet is that, man? And how that's iconic, bro. That is amazing, and that's something you can never take away from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking GOATs, it's always Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers kind of gets left out because of the rings. I mean, Tom Brady always gets put ahead for the rings, but I mean, I just can't. If you're starting a team and you got 1 quarterback to pick, out of those 4, who you picking?
If you're trying to score fast and score often, I got to go with Aaron Rodgers just because he gets there fast. The momentum of his game is up tempo type of game. So I got to go with the iconic Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you have to. And I mean, again, he's the quickest to 400. He's the first quarterback in NFL history to have 5 seasons of 35 plus touchdowns, which is insane. I mean, we're still a couple weeks left in the season, and he's already there. And then you got Devontae yesterday, who's just a monster for him, going over 1,000 yards yesterday. So it's looking good for the Packers for the future.
It is, man, and that's the thing about the duo with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. 12 know he can go to Devontae at any point of the game, and he's going to be there. If he missed one, you best to believe the next one they're going to connect, because that's the chemistry and the connect they have. And it's one of those connections that don't come around often.
Not at all.
It was a little span where the one of the best receiving cores on turf back in the gap of Green Bay days, and it went to open up a little bit. Then 17 came along and start upping up his game, and he's playing like a monster.
Yeah, just lights out every week, man. It's good to see. But yeah, these next 4 weeks, closing out the season, we got Lions next week. Going to be a tough game. Stafford always comes to play. Lions are a decent team. Panthers. Yep. Panthers have been in a lot of close games. Then we got tough Titans, where we're going to have to stop Derrick Henry. And like
the run game there.
Like we talked about at the start of the episode, I mean, our defense this season has looked a little shaky in the run defense.
Yep.
So stopping Henry is going to be a very, very tough task. And then
you think?
Yeah. I mean, I do not want to try and tackle that guy. It's going to take more than one and just a full defensive effort. And then closing out the season at Soldier Field, the place you love to play against the Bears. So yeah, it's going to be a nice little run to end the season. And then,
yeah, man.
I mean, let's get into some of the other games this week. We had a lot of good games, like we said. But yeah, I mean, we had starting off the Patriots absolutely blew out the Chargers, 45-0.
Yeah, that wasn't a game.
Yeah, 2 big special teams plays with a punt return and a blocked field goal return. Devin McCourty really just put it to the rookie Justin Herbert. It just didn't look good. And then we had the Giants pulling off a shocker against the Seahawks.
Yes, that was the upset.
100%. That's the upset of the week. Had your Texas boy Colt McCoy back there at quarterback with Daniel Jones out. One of the plays, DK Metcalf. I mean, I feel like we talk about this guy every single week. Every single week we talk about
that dude is a dog, and he stays in the dog of the week. So, hey, Dex, who's your dogs of the week this week? I
mean, we had to have this play by DK, even though the Seahawks might have lost, but my God, this guy is just a monster. I mean, he just goes right at you.
Give me that. I like it.
I mean, Bradbury. I guess you still take you still get the tackle, but man, you know he's getting shit in the locker room.
He will be on a highlight reel for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I saw Ryan Clark this morning where he's like, "Man, you guys got to stop dogging him. He did all he could, and he still made the tackle." He's like, "I don't care if Metcalf stiff-armed him to the ground. He made the play and still got him down." But I'm like, dog,
he got posterized now. That's gonna be on the poster.
There's a nice little helmet imprint in the turf for that one.
Who else you got for your dog of the week?
My man Baker, Titans playing against them. And the Browns came out. He threw 4 touchdowns in the first half. And this season, there's 2 quarterbacks with 4 touchdowns in the first half.
Yep.
Baker's both of them. In all, so I mean the Browns moved to 9-3, pick up a very, very tough win, and they held Derrick Henry to 60 yards.
Yes, I thought that was pretty amazing that they held that big joker to 60 yards. That's insane.
Yeah, Titans still made it a game at the end. I mean, Browns were up 25, 30 points and still only won by I think 6 or 7. It was a wild one, and then.
Who else you got for your dog of the week, DJ Dex?
This next one was a huge play for the Raiders. Jets are winless. You got to think they're getting their first win. And in just the way that the New York Jets can do it, they blow the game.
Screwed it up.
Crazy. 3rd and 10, 13 seconds left. And what do you do? Is this the coordinator? Is this them? How are you letting get behind you? You don't have a safety over the top, anything. Why are you playing prevent?
I don't. I think that's a combination of both. That's coaches, players, and a mental midget in between. Man. I think that's the stupidest thing ever.
You're up by 4. Field goal doesn't matter. All you have to do is not let them score.
Wow, that's pretty. and why do you bite on a stop and go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've
that's
watched
the
the
cut.
highlight.
That's the everything.
I've watched the highlights so many times already, and I'm like, first of all, what are they doing in man coverage with no one over the top when literally all you need to do is not get a touchdown? Like,
Not get a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. It's just been blowing my mind like since I've seen the game, which I love. Raiders picking up a W. My buddy Alec Ingold, Wisconsin Badger, plays fullback for them, so it's good to see them keep winning. I'd like to see them make the playoffs, but if you're a Jets fan,
They sick.
yeah. I mean they're on to 0-12 now, and just looking like garbage. So it's
Yeah, let's go back to the Packers next week. Big game. Every game's big in NFL. What are you thinking about that one?
I mean they got to come back and just really keep the defense rolling. Stafford is no joke.
No joke.
Great quarterback. I honestly wish that he still had more weapons to work with. But yeah,
but he is a gunslinger.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he'll get after these DBs, which means that our D line has to get after him,
Right.
and really come after him. Hopefully, get another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sacks.
Yeah, because you're gonna have the opportunity to, because Stafford's he's gonna throw the ball. He's gonna scramble a little and try to make plays. So
yeah,
you're gonna have the opportunity to get to the quarterback this week. So
yeah.
I'm hoping them boys get a push.
Stafford's not a very mobile guy either. So hopefully, Darius, Preston, those other guys can get after him and get him to the ground a little bit. Rodgers, is going to let it fly again, and then hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Yes, sir.
Lions coming off a win against the Bears, which was
that's a big momentum push for them guys. So that's something the Packers got to weigh into and look into, is that them guys are on a high momentum kick boost, whatever they got going, and they got to come out and play some ball, regardless of the record, what's the team or whatever's going on. We got to play some football this week.
Yeah, they're going back-to-back division games. Bears losing 6 straight now after just absolutely blowing the game yesterday. It was bad, man. I mean, Trubisky fumbled late, and then they had a third down play to Allen Robinson, and he just went out of bounds right before the first down marker.
Yes, I'm going to tell you what's about to happen over there. Somebody's about to get a first-class ticket.
You think or what?
Yeah, somebody's getting a first-class ticket on the plane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In a big seat.
Yeah. I mean, they go from having a good season last year to now this, and I mean, you can't think about it that he might be getting the boot, but
DJ Dex, let's go to some college football a little bit. Let's go to my Texas boys. Man, what a I don't know if you call that a shootout or, because that team wasn't nowhere near around. What do you call that type of game with the score so high?
69 points in a football game.
Right.
I thought we were watching the basketball team at first. Jesus. But I mean, Texas came to play. 7 rushing touchdowns, man, against a state team that's not a bad team.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, they have 7 rushing touchdowns, and Keontae Ingram wasn't even playing, who, from me watching Texas, the games that I've seen from them, I think he's their best running back. But
that was pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, they got 3 from Rashawn Johnson and then 3 from Bijan Robinson. If you get 7 rushing touchdowns, I mean, what's going on, man? They had over 300 rushing yards. They look good.
Right. I thought they looked good too, man. And man, the thing about that, I don't even care what the score is.
Mm-hmm.
A win for Texas is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing we expect here in Texas is win. I don't care if the score was 100-0 or 99-100.
Yep.
Long as we won, because my opinion on that, I got to throw it out there once again. I think Texas should go for for another coach that's going to be more like a Mac Brown typical coach, where he's going to come in, love on the players. It's all about the players, and he's a player's coach. So I'm looking at a guy more like a Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I literally saw an article this morning about Texas trying to go after Urban Meyer, and I had no idea that he was even an option in college coaching at all anymore. I mean,
you better wake up, DJ Dex.
you see him on the college football analyst table, thinking that he's done, but all of a sudden I wake up, I had an ESPN thing this morning saying that Texas is like trying to get him to come coach, which, I mean, if you put Urban Meyer, your recruits are up immediately.
Yes, absolutely.
And
especially in Austin, you get to Austin, Texas,
mm-hmm.
they're gonna give Urban Meyer a check and say, look here, you sign your own check and put your insurance policy in there too.
Yeah. Whatever number you want, just write it down. We'll make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because you know, as soon as he comes there, obviously with Texas already being a huge school, probably not the hardest for them to recruit as is, but when you put a name like that where he can get you to that next level, it's gonna just make every single high school top recruit come to Texas and turn them into the powerhouse that they were.
I totally agree, man. And I think I can speak on the guys that always come back that's in the NFL are retirees that went to the University of Texas. We are looking for a guy that's going to be like a more Mac Brown that's going to welcome the guys with open arms also, because that's what built our program is. When I was in college, Mac always let the NFL guys come back and work out or do 7-on-7 or something. But now it's just more like a locked door mentality around there. And I think that's where it got all misconstrued right there.
Gotcha. I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's that's how he runs. It's more like a military style, and it's obviously, as we can see on the outside, is not working.
Yeah. I mean, they're decent this year. 6-3 right now, which for Texas football doesn't cut it. But man, thank God we were talking about Texas first, because I do not want to talk about
I was about to come your way up there to the Midwest. What are you guys doing?
It's just not looking good. Back-to-back losses. Obviously, last week we didn't play. Game got canceled for COVID. Third game this year that the Badgers have canceled out of an 8-game season. So,
wow.
I mean, it sucks because you like to think that those 3 games of experience are obviously going to help, especially when you have a freshman quarterback or redshirt freshman like Graham Mertz. But this is back-to-back weeks where we score 6 points yesterday or Saturday, and Mertz just didn't look good. 20 for 34, interception, no touchdowns, after going 23 for 41 with 1 touchdown and 3 picks against Northwestern. And I get it, like Indiana has a tough defense. Northwestern had a tough defense, but man, you got to put something up for me, man. 6 points ain't gonna cut it.
No, it's not, especially in a game like that, man. And I think the Badgers, I think the season and all this crap just screwed everything up with that team. Some teams it did, and some teams it did. So it's one of those years, and I think them guys just have to go with what they have. I know the seniors are not so happy there. It's once again, it's out of our control, and I think them guys got to work with what they have.
Yeah. I mean, we're down to our last game, playing against Iowa, who's a tough team, number 19 ranked, this Saturday, and that's probably how their season is going to close out. Because I mean, that's only going to be 1, 2, 3, 5 games. They're going to have a 5-game college football season.
And that's crazy, man. And I don't even think that's enough film for the guys that want to go to the next level.
Exactly. And that's what we've talked about that on other weeks, where it's just this season as a whole, it hurts for the players who want to get their name out there. You have that one big game that gets recruits to look at you for the next level. And I mean, that's not going to happen with 5 games. So it sucks. And I mean, all we can do is look forward to next week, hope to get that win against Iowa, and then move on from there. But, I mean, let's talk about – we haven't talked about this yet. What are you thinking college football rankings? Right now we got Bama 1, Notre Dame 2, Ohio State 3, Clemson 4.
Right.
What's your rankings?
I think it's similar to yours. Actually, I'm going to match mine up to yours. I think Bama for sure is the number 1 team right now. I think Clemson to move up once they start playing playing their kid that they love over there in Lawrence.
Yeah,
He started getting, and I think that move up in the playoff when they started getting to the matchups with the 4 teams, and I'm taking Clemson to win it. I really am,
and
especially with the rest the Lawrence kid has got.
So that's my thing too. Clemson right now with the AP polls is ranked 4th because they have that loss to Notre Dame. But I don't care what you say. I'm putting an asterisk on that loss. No Trevor Lawrence in the game, and they still almost won with DJ as their backup quarterback, who's going to be a stud once Lawrence leaves. But I mean, it's going to be. I think Clemson is number 1.
Yes,
but it's tough to beat Bama, and Ohio State behind Justin Fields has been looking just absolutely – they're monsters, man.
Yeah, they're monsters. I'm taking Ohio State. I'm taking Ohio State, Clemson, if them guys don't match up at the beginning of the tourney, I'm taking Ohio State, Clemson at the end.
Well, that's what's strange now, because if it ends how it is now, it's going to be Bama, Clemson, because they'd be the 1 and 4, and then Ohio State, Notre Dame. If you put Ohio State, Notre Dame, I'm taking Ohio State over Notre Dame.
Absolutely, and then the Alabama Clemson game can go. It can go either way.
Yeah, I mean that's
a heck of a skip. Man, that's some games right there, boy.
Yeah. So it's gonna be good once we get into the college football playoffs.
Absolutely,
it'll do it for us. So.
All right, man. Man, appreciate you, DJ Dex, and thank the fans for joining the spin with J Fin and DJ Dex. It's been awesome. We got another great week of football next week, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
On to the Lions.
Yes, sir. Go Pack, go.